After you die, you will meet God. Now, I can't speak for what happens right after you die, but I do know what happens right before you die, and it's not what you see depicted on this billboard. Let's get into it. What's up everyone, Mike Muellner here. I'm an internal medicine doctor from Los Angeles, California, and today I want to talk about this particular billboard, specifically what's going on in the upper left corner of the billboard. So you can see what looks like an EKG rhythm. So looking at the electrical activity in the heart, and it actually looks fairly normal. You see QRS complexes. Those are the large narrow spikes. And then we see what looks like a P wave and a T wave. So the little smaller blips there. Now they look a little weird. That P wave kind of seems a bit tall. But overall, it appears to be a sinus rhythm or a normal rhythm for the heart. Then all of a sudden, it's just radio silence. It just goes flatline, as if the heart, I've got a little model heart here, as if the heart just goes poof and disappears. But this is not what you typically see in real life. In reality, if somebody is terminally ill and they're on the heart monitor, what you'll see is the heart rhythm becomes very eccentric. It loses that regular pattern that we see depicted on the top left side of the billboard. And so what you might see is something like this. This is ventricular fibrillation, a crazy pattern all over the place. This is where the heart is just vibrating violently, but it's not actually having an organized rhythm. It's not able to pump blood effectively. So if you feel for a pulse, you won't feel anything. This is cardiac arrest. Another thing you might see is something like this. So this looks like there's something going on in the heart, but it's actually a pulseless electrical activity. So this is what we say when somebody does not have a palpable pulse. You can't actually feel any evidence of the heart pumping effectively enough to move blood through the body, but you do see something on the cardiac monitor. So the monitor is still able to pick up some electrical activity, but not enough for the heart to pump with an organized rhythm. However, eventually the heart will stop moving entirely. All electrical activity will cease, and you will then see a flat line on the monitor, but usually not after we get some abnormal rhythms. Like in that scene from Star Wars. Actually, I think it's Return of the Jedi, probably. I think it was the third one. Anyways, where Yoda is dying and his last breath is, he reveals to Luke that Leia is Luke's sister. You can bet if Yoda was on a cardiac monitor, they would not show any sort of ventricular fibrillation or pulseless electrical activity. It would just simply go to flatline. Although actually, since he does kind of disappear and becomes a force ghost, maybe that would be appropriate. But anyway, that's not what you see in real life. Now, moving on to something that really gets on my nerves. Well, not really. I'm not some guy that freaks out in front of a TV screen. But something that's definitely not medically accurate is when you get that flatline rhythm, and then the doctors try to shock the patient as if shocking the heart can suddenly restart it, like you're jump starting the heart. That is not the role of shocking the heart or electrical defibrillation. The role of electrical defibrillation is actually the opposite. You want to stop the heart. You do that when there's an abnormal heart rhythm, ventricular fibrillation, or pulseless ventricular tachycardia. Heart is just beating like crazy, out of control. You want to shock the heart to stop it, with the hope that when it restarts, it's going to restart in a normal rhythm. You never shock a flatlined rhythm. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, there you go. That's my 2 cents on this billboard, which is not the only offender here, but you don't really see this particular cardiac monitor pattern right before somebody passes away. Usually there's a lot more disorganized rhythm before you go to flatline. I hope you found this video to be informative or entertaining in some way. If you like medical content like this, feel free to hit the subscribe button there or check out another video here, and I'll see you guys next time.